It's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary. Cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, da, da, lie, lie, da, da, lie, da, lie. La, da, 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 da. La, da, 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 da. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee, dee-dee, a fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie, da, 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 da. Lie, da, 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 da. Lie, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie, da, 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 da. Lie, da, 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 da. Lie, da, 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 da. La, da, 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 da. La, da, 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 da. Lie, da, 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 da.
Hi everyone, it's me, it's Mab from the lab, reaching out to you live and in person. I am checking real quick. Yeah, not dead yet, not dead yet. You know, all the world that's happening. I think it's time to remember all the things that we can do to make the world a little bit brighter, a little bit more full of whimsy, which is one of my personal missions of getting on in this life. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Shout out. I'm streaming to several locations tonight, so shout out and let me know where you are streaming from. I would love to hear from you. In fact, tonight, you guys are the special guest of the show. It's just another Thursday. It's the first Thursday of June. Happy Pride Month. We are here and we're just a little bit queer. And we're very proud of it. This month, for my activity, one of the things that I've got going on is I'm spending June. I don't have any major shows until like the end of June and the beginning of July. So I have some free time that I am spending to do a lot more design work, make some upgrades, finish projects that are in my head, kind of replenish the harder to replenish stock. To that end, I have made more of my sparkle bobs, which I wasn't sure if I was going to do, but I've decided that I like making them and I think that they're really pretty. So I have made more of them. And yeah, that happens. But one of the big events that I have, I think it's the first Sunday of July. So it's July 5th, not 10th, 5th, that guy, in Arlington, Virginia. I am doing an all-day make and take cranky interactive exhibit, I guess is the best way of putting it. Hey, Janine, thank you so much for tuning in. You are specifically one of the people. Mab stuff is always a big event. Thanks, just some guy. Master artist you are. So it's a make and take all day kind of thing. So it's not like a start, do the thing, and then we're done in an hour or however long we want to spend on the workshop. It's actually, I'm set up all day. People will come in, make a thing, and then leave. And while they're making things, other people are going to come in. People are going to be coming and going all day long. So one, I have to completely change my workshop format, which is not a problem. I've got a couple ideas on that. But the other thing I was thinking is this is a really good time to kind of have some pre-made cranky scrolls. I do have, when you buy a cranky, you have the option, if you want, of getting a pre-made scroll. And people can just show up and grab whatever one that they want and then assemble the box and decorate it. Now, I don't know if you guys know this about me. Some of you do. My favorite thing about crankies is making and decorating the boxes. And we all have our superpowers. Mine is all about the box. Hashtag Pride Month. Don't ask. Don't tell. I will say another cool thing, and I was hoping she could join us tonight, so she might be around a little bit later, is BLC Blondie, who is another fan of the channel that drops in often. For her birthday this year, she got a bunch of crankies and had all of her friends make little cranky scrolls, and then she videotaped the little scroll crankies and shared them. And there were so many really amazing and clever designs. There was one design that stood out. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, just some guy. There was one box that stood out, one design that stood out more than any of them all. And it was just like basically a brown colored pencil and like occasionally shots of grass. I might even be making that part up. And then like it just got darker and darker and darker and darker. And then finally there was a dog, the drawing of a little dog scooching their butt along. And I was like, that is the most perfect cranky I have ever seen. The scroll, most perfect scroll, because what we want with a scroll is something that encourages you to keep moving the image. And it's to say that it's a big long image, that's part of it, or to say that it's a sequence of images, that is an option. One of the things that I have done for one of my cranky boxes that I made this is a bunch of Betty Page. This is basically a Betty Page comic situation that I cut out or made copies of the panels and put them on paper and then taped all the individual frames together, giving it a unified height. You know, if you look at it in the comic book, not all these frames were the same height, and some of them were like that. And I just cut them all out and I put them, resized everything so that it was the same height. And then other things that I do are just, it's words, you know, so that you're looking at it. And this is actually one of my favorites that I've made. So this is a word, is one word, but that word is ice. So it's one word, but the way that it's presented visually entices the scrolling to happen more. And it entices. So what dimension? So, okay. So we're going to get to the dimension thing. And sometimes they have words, sometimes they don't have words. Now this one I made super duper on the fly at a craft show when I discovered that my receipt printer and the roll of tape is the same width as what can go in here. It's actually a little bit small. You can kind of see it moves a little bit more than I would like, but I just took a bunch of clip art from Canva and I dropped it, and then occasionally I would put a word through it, and it's really esoteric, and it just says I dream, and then and smile at the memory, and then a brain, right? So it's like, so you guys are asking dimensions here, and the dimensions are, it's a tough one to say because it's an aspect ratio. And then on the Cranky boxes, the window size is and I actually measured this, so I got rulers. This is why we do these shows in the lab. The window size here is the window itself is 1.5 inches. This is on the kit by 2 inches. 1.5 inches by 2 inches, and that's the window of the Matchbox Cranky size. The actual scroll paper size is so here, if you look at it, you can see that, let's see, here's one. You can see here, more light, you can see that this is one width, and then I made the window width a very faint thin blue line. So if you wanted to go and download, if you go to my website, and SmartMap would have had that link already queued up, the craftycarney.com crankies, if you go there, you can download the Cranky template and print it out and draw in it, or use a word program and do it. But here's what I've got, and I'm actually going to kind of share it. So the margins are 1/4 inch. You know, you could have it exactly, you know, the one width, but these, I cut the paper because I use an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and this page is, I've got it at 2 inches, and then here, let me write this down. 2 inches, you know, height, I'll say height total. And then what did we say the window height was? 1 inch. the window height was 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch. Window height is 1.5 inches. And then the window width, we said, was a solid 2 inches. And the window width, 2 inches. So for everybody interacting, you can download the template for the Matchbox Cranky kit scrolls. You can buy the kits if you want. I have no problem shipping. And there might be a secret code on my website right now for fans of the Crafty Carney. Yeah, I think I set that up, but I don't remember what it was. Discounts. The discount code is secret sale, hashtag secret sale 2026. And that's active, and that's going to get you 10% off of anything on our site. But I think there's like a minimum purchase because of freaking everything. So secret sale, hashtag secret sale 26 is happening right now, but it's a super secret sale. Shh, don't tell anyone. It's just between you and me. Totally secret. All right, so the crafting show, they have secret. Quarter inch is a great guess. Yeah, you're right, quarter inch. And I think that's kind of what I was thinking anyways. So, yes, but check these out, huh? Boom, look at this. This is my iPad, and I use this a lot to design cranky scrolls. So you can kind of see some of these over there. La, 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 la. Oh, I made this window big. I didn't know I could do that. That's pretty cool. Meow. All right. And then there's this one. So you can see, you know, what's going to be overlapping and what's not. Fuck. So tonight's project here in the labs, I have a couple of things I was thinking we could do. There, I could make, so because I had mentioned that, I have a receipt printer that prints. It's a thermal printer, so it's not color. It's just black and white. But if I wanted to do color, I could just use that template that that's an 8.5 by 11 paper. Oh, and you can tape more than one scroll together. Doo-doo-doo, you can tape them together. So that's going to be pretty cool too. So tonight, I was thinking we could collectively work on some cranky stories together. We can make some scrolls together. So I have this great big template, and what I'm going to do is, so there's a couple questions that we can ask ourselves. So this is kind of a blank template here, right? This is just it's longer than it is. It's a long rectangle. Now we could build it this way. We could build it this way. We could build it where the scroll goes side to side, or we could build it where the scroll goes up and down. So that's the first question that I've got for everybody here is, do we want the scroll to go up and down, or do we want the scroll to go side to side? That's question numero uno. And apparently I can't make myself bigger when I do this, but I wonder if I can do this. Nope. It's got to be that. That's the only option. So, tell me, side to side or up and down. Side to side has the traditional reading format. Up and down. This is a fun up and down one. This is what I tend to think of is here we go. Fun fact. If you are bang, bang, bang people, you are probably the bad guys. You think up and down is nice for text, but side to side is nice. Oh, see, now that's a really good way of, yeah. So one of the scrolls that I'm designing right now, so there's a couple of things that I was thinking about. One of the things I like to do is I like to take folk stories and make, you can make crankies out of like folk stories that you're familiar with. One of the ones that I've done previously, and I'm trying to find that scroll and I'm hoping it's somewhere, is, come on. Yes, it's this guy right here. So it is the story of Little Suck a Thumb. And I made it, why is it not going? Oh, because I have to go this way. So I printed this. You're like you want it going down. So I printed this. I printed out all of the pages of this story. I was kind of like trying to rush it. And I taped them end to end. And it ended up being like super wrinkly and not pretty. And there was a lot of text. So it turns into a slideshow, right? So that's not great. If you're familiar with this story, it's about a little boy who sucks his thumb and his mom's like, don't suck your thumb. A guy's going to come and chop off your thumb. And then mom went away, and as soon as she's gone, the little boy sucked his thumb, and the big long-legged tailor came, and then mom comes home, and she's like, I knew he'd come. That's what I told you. I told you. What did I say? What did I say? No sympathy for the little boy who got his thumbs cut off by a long-legged tailor. The poor boy. Oh, he's so sad. So I could take these pictures and put them in a scroll. I could do that, right? And or I could, thinking of ideas for of falling for up and down. So yeah, I was thinking up and down. I was kind of toying with the idea of called Medieval Child Protective Services. All of the German folk tales that I had grabbed copies of were like that, and I'm like, oh my god, so brutal. So you could be like a branch of a tree, you know, something like with leaves, yeah, and then a leaf that has fallen, right? And then creating more movement. You know, I'm just kind of sketching it out. Oh, yeah, let me erase the word test with a big old eraser. I was testing to see if my screen was live, which it is. So you get to call, like, watch. And then maybe this falling leaf. I want to go in another direction to kind of create more movement here. And the falling leaf kind of has like a more of a stick vibe to it. And then you'd see spaceship, which I can't remember what it looks like. And then more leaf falling. And then the dashboard of the, and there's like a little guy piloting it. And there's like some dinosaur figurines here, some dinos, some couple of more leaves. And then a big spike. Or a petunia saying not again. So yeah, ecology, roots to branches and different animals that live there. I love those. Ooh. So we could go picture of tree to roots of a tree, branches to roots with all the different animals that live in the, I'm a terrible Googler. So then, yeah, you go to images that exist, and there's like one of these kinds of things, something like this, right? And then you've got like this. That's a great idea, Jay Rinker. That is a great idea. Oh, that's clearly AI. But something that's not AI. And, just I find things that kind of have the layout that I like, and I use them for inspiration for my, here we go. Ooh, this is a, what do they call those? Genus and species and genus thing there. These are evolutionary tree of life. There's a tree anatomy. None of these have that. Yeah, this is close. The branches of the tree of life that are dying. Wow, that's brutal. But yeah, I like that idea. Let's see. And again, I don't have to use this whole thing here. I can just use, let's get a better pencil. And let's change the color to a green. It's actually a lovely green. So we want, I'll make it a little bit bigger here, smaller, I mean. So we want like a tree and the branches and the trunk. I know, right? What is that? I think it was talking about the tree of life of all the different species that are still that are around, and the ones that are extinct. And then this would be like a little cubby thing where the different little animals live. And then here you have like little bugs, and then you have like the clay. We don't have to go that far down, but this is kind of a deal here where I'll do really good gestures, and then we can kind of figure out the scale from there. But or should I make the scale even smaller, right? Where the top of the tree, right? See how it's like like and then the branches or the trunk. More like that kind of thing here. And then the inside of a tree here. And then going into root structures here. And the little things that live in the tree here. But we would want something, another thing to think about is every panel has to have something to kind of entice you to go to the next thing. So like you want to visualize, undo that. You want to visualize what big owl ears, what the individual frames would look like too. And that's definitely one of my weaknesses. Yeah, try the what is the tree path game? Can you tell me more about the tree path game? I'm not sure what that is, but oh, you know what I can also do? I can move my artwork down, which is one of the other reasons why I like doing it digitally. And then, you know, up here you would have like a bird nest. Theoretically, if you could remember how to draw birds that aren't angry sons of biscuits, I'm gonna murder you and feed you all to my little babies. Also, please keep in mind, this is just the sketch layer. This is kind of like, yeah, a squirrel to follow up and down. So I have like my jackalope, Mr. Bun, that I like to use as like follow the bouncing bunny for some of my illustrations. Right, so the bird lives up here with all the leaves. So like the first panel, we can do first panel, check this out, and then grab a big eraser. See how I'm like erasing a big block so that you can kind of see. And then I'll do like a black line around it so that you can also see. Yeah, buddy, what's up? I'm doing a little show. That would be the cat, desperate for attention tonight, which is, he's so adorable. So you can see here, kind of doing a sort of a clipping mask. Oh, for crying out loud. So what I'm trying to do is make a clipping mask that shows you kind of a window area. Right? So then you go in on this layer. This is me cheating digitally, right? So you go in on this layer, wrong layer. You go in on this layer and you just kind of scoot it down and it kind of shows you the window of as you would see it. You know, I'm doing a terrible job of it because I'm kind of not thinking about it. Hello, Kitty. Oh, is Kitty there? Did I miss her comments? Do you have a kitty me? Oh, my kitty. I totally invited Kitty Chaos to the show. Do you want to come in and hang out? This is the Kitty Max kitty. Kitty Max. Hey Max, you want to come in? So that's one of the things I can do. Yeah, I'll make making like a little window when I'm doing the layout so that I can kind of see what would be seen when I scroll it. Right. Basically, that's what I do. Window-sized boxes. But, you know, so you can kind of see it. I wonder if it'll let me fill that with white on top. Filled it all. Where's my, and then you go there. And then you do that. Whoop, whoop. Ignore the black. That was not thought out. I was trying to make it like a little border. But boop. So you could kind of get a sneaky peeky. Oh, wrong one. That button. Sneaky peeky. Oh, it cuts it off. Dadgummit. But still, you get the idea. Hide that. So these are just some of this is one of the ideas, and I think we're going to kind of keep working on this. So do additional layers. Nope. I want this over here. And I can do a more, well, we're still in the sketch layer. Sketch. And we're still sketching. Okay. So we've got like the bird, and then we want like a branch here, or something that basically represents a branch. And then have our little squirrel sitting on it, right? He's like that. Sir. Oh no, what is the name of the squirrel? Our squirrel friend from Nat 21 Adventures that holds a nut. Sir, what's his name? And you probably want a bigger, fuzzier tail. I swear to you, that's a squirrel. I swear it's a squirrel. Okay, yeah, all right. So it doesn't look like a squirrel, really. But I promise you, it's a squirrel. There we go. It's definitely a squirrel. Because he's got like a little thing there. There is a thing that makes my brushes be better, and I don't know why it's being so fussy right now. I don't know where that setting is. Not super expert of Procreate. Is it looking kind of squirrel-like now? He looks evil. That's a freaking squirrel, I assure you. I feel like Dante from Clerks. I assure you, that's a freaking squirrel. Actually, you know what? I know what's not right with my little squirrel buddy is I was trying to give him a hat when he should have ears instead. I was trying to give him a hat because I don't know the name of the squirrel from Nat 21 Adventures. That cute squirrel dude. He was so cute. All right, we have a little squirrel representation. Oh, and then I dropped my pencil. But I assure you, absolutely. Yeah, what is the tree path game? Tell me more about that. I think that would make a great great scroll for the all-day make and take workshop event. I think it would make a great scroll for that. Here we go. That looks more like a squirrel. I'm doing that thing where I hyper focus on a stupid part of the drawing. Really? Me hyper focus? I would never. All right. Oh wait, squirrel tails go up and around. That's probably another thing I was doing wrong. There we go. Okay. So we'll have a little squirrel there on a branch coming out of a tree right there like that. So I'll do dimensionality with the tree. All right. So my messed up bird that I didn't spend any time trying to make better, like I did with the squirrel. The right path in the tree game, the path continues in the next window. Wrong path, it goes off a cliff or eaten by a monster based on visual trivia. I love it. What? All right, I will absolutely work on a tree path game for the kids. It is, so this event that I'm doing is in Arlington, and it happens to be the same weekend as 4th of July. So Arlington County does events the first Sunday of every month. So the first Sunday in July happens to be July 5th. So it's not like it was specifically a patriotic thing, but now I'm feeling a little bit of my own, giving myself some pressure to make it a something that's like, oh yeah, this is America, woot woot. Even though, you know, I would like it to be something for everyone, doesn't matter what your political leanings. And I will say Arlington County does tend to be a little bit more liberal, even though it is like butts up against Washington, D.C. But all right, there we go. Slightly less janky. All right, I should just practice drawing more. It's been a while. I've kind of been spending my time building things, not drawing things, and it's a slightly different skill set. So thank you all so much for helping me draw more right now. Okay, so we have one point of the tree, and then something like to bring people's eyes down visually, like the branch, right? So the branch will be here, and then another branch. I'd like another branch here, something for the bird to sit on, like a nest wise. I'll work out that line work luego later. And so this guy's facing the wrong direction, or this guy is. And then, yeah, you have this guy here. Ooh, oops, did the wrong thing. Oh, I want to freehand select this dude. Boop. And then I want to move that dude up. There. Hooray for digital. So yeah, I'll look into this tree path game. So we've got an owl peeking out of his little spot. I could call the owl Loon. It's a crazy owl. Owls are kind of cute. But they're vicious. You don't mess with owls. Owls will mess you up. They will abscond with your chickens and smaller critters. Because, remember what I was saying the other day, if your eyes are facing forward, you are a predator. If your eyes are on the side, you are prey. And if you look at an owl, they're looking right back at you. It's kind of fun. Hello, owl. These are some of the sound effects that I make all the time. And then I want to go a little bigger, a little bigger. It's one of those cute little owl ears that I love. And their eyes are so huge. Whoops. Yeah, just like that. There we go. This is how the sausage is made, yo. And by sausage, I mean art in general. It costs as much because it takes me fucking now. Sir Pistachio! Thank you. Thank you. It was going to drive me nuts. I was actually planning already on looking it up when I got out of the show tonight. Thank you. Did I scare the cat? A little bit, but I do not regret that. There's, it's like, oh, I gotta know. Sir Mother Flippin' Pistachio. And there was an owl in the whole Yggdrasil tree episode. That was pretty cool. Near, and I don't remember the owl, but I remember the little baby owl bit it. The little baby owl didn't make it. It was so sad. Oh, so sad. But this is, and then they have like V's. I guess, that represents their shorter, rounder feathers. That's why they always have V's. Okay, so then there's like that kind of knot. Okay, so then we're going to have the owl. So far we've got the bird, and then I'm going to probably change the direction of the squirrel. I may try and do that now. Let me see if I can do that now. Sir Pistachio. Bang up job. And then I will say flip horizontal, and then I'll move you over here and down. I liked your fluffy tail though. So I'll adjust it further. Later. But yeah, I like you need the visual of the ziggity zaggity. Oi, oi, oi. So then down towards the base of the tree, not underground. That would be underground is bonny bunnies living underground. That'd be the bunnies. Little bunnies, their little tails. But what would be maybe flowers, vines like there, because that's part of the ecosystem. Yeah. And then the bunnies live in like a little bit of a burrow that they've made from the roots, because they're cute. They're little cute sons of bitches. Whoops. Come on, girl. There we go. We're almost there. And their little ears. And creepy little eyes. Their little feet. And their cute little fluffy tail. Oh, that's a cute little bunny. I can adjust the ear a little bit. Make that a little smaller. So are they European rabbits? Is that where rabbits live in Europe, is in the trees? Or are you talking about the color of the rabbit? Or is this a swallow joke? Oh, and then a little bunny ear, and then a little bunny nose, a little bunny nose, because they're super cute little noses. And little whiskers. Yeah. And they're little scared all the time. Little bunny, foo, foo, little bunny, foo, foo. Boop. Merge these two if I can. Or just keep going. There we go. Yes, my little bunny. Yes, the little bunny. Little bunny, reach your tail. Bunny tail. Here we go. All right, so let's have a look. So far, we have the bird. Actually, this could be the cranky window, essentially. Oh, hi, little bird. And then something needs to happen here. Something needs to happen here. Hello, little bird. And then little squirrel dropping a nut, an acorn, onto Mr. Owl. Big giant. So that'll create movement visually. Boop. Dropping it onto the head of the owl dude. Doop. A little arrow just to kind of indicate which direction. Again, this is just the European rabbits live in warrens. Cottontails do not. Oh, well, we have rabbits in our yard, and they live in our brush pile, the little bunnies. And I know this because Murder Beast used to be very fascinated with that particular brush pile. And we have rescued more than one little bunny. And then the vines are the artwork here. But what is the thing from the owl owl claws, maybe. In my head, I would love for it to be maybe a feather falling in there, maybe something there. So this area here is kind of like a big old question mark. So there's got to be like something to tie it by having I would be angry by having an acorn dropped on them. So what is the owl doing? Maybe the vines growing up around the owl, and then zooming in a little bit more, we have the bunny, and then the smaller roots of the tree, right? What are they? There'd be like beetles and cicadas. So basically grubs. I love little grubbies. Little bugs. And then also little earthworms. And then what's the payoff at the very bottom? Okay, no, I can't do that because I want this to be kid friendly. Maybe a dinosaur bone. Yeah. How do you make this skull look like a dinosaur? So to represent dinosaur bone, I'll just do a great big femur. To represent the skull with ridges. So, and that, and you don't have to draw it much further, but we could go on because we have all of this. So you can see here, oh well, you can see here, you can see here. I clearly can't drive my iPad with something in my hand. You can see here. It could be the tree that ate what's his name? The tree that ate what's his name? Oh yeah, like the little tricorn. I like that idea of a tricorn skull. And then doesn't it have like a little hard ridge all the way around it too? Yeah. And it's like got like a little nose like that. But yeah. Also, tricorn eyes are on the sides, so they are prey animals. Just as a point of reference there. So yeah, and I'll make a note. Dino bones. Hard to write with the tablet bouncing up and down. Dino bones. Yeah. So we are almost done. We're almost out of time. But what do you guys think? This was great. You guys gave me some really great stuff, and it's really cute. The apple tree that ate Roger Williams. I'll have to look that up. This is great. This is going to make a really nice art scroll. Thank you so much. So this is your opportunity, pew, 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 to ask me anything. You can start asking me questions about making scrolls. So this was a nice example of an up and down scroll. And this, when I get this, cleaned up and inked and everything, what I think it's going to do is it might be one that I color in and then print it out on the paper and tape it up together. Or I can make this line art, straight up line art and make it a coloring book, right, for the kids to color in. Let's see, I get a pen option here, right? So this is on a new layer, theoretically. Oh, it thinks it's something else there. Right, so it's a coloring book that the kids can color in, right? Boop. And then you have this part of the nest, this part of the nest. They can color in leaves. So that'd be cute. I like this. Trees like to grow where fossils are. I didn't know that. That's brilliant. They do dissolve the fossils for minerals. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I think so too. I like this idea. So what I think I'm going to do, thank you so much, everybody, for all of your brilliant contributions today. You have definitely inspired me, which is what we aspire to here in Mab Labs, is inspiration and motivation and collaboration. So you guys really inspired me. I'm loving this tree idea. So it's kind of like a tree game. And maybe I can incorporate the tree game in with this. And I'm also going to turn this into coloring book style pages for the kids to color in, or I'll have, scroll paper like this for the people to draw on. And I'll also have things for people to decorate their boxes, their cranky boxes. So yeah, this was fantastic. Thank you so much. As always, reach out to me on Facebook, and I've actually added a chat option to the Crafty Carney website. If you go to the Crafty Carney, you can see there's a little chat, boop, and it actually goes right to my phone. So I am always there, and I keep late hours, just never before noon. So one more time, just for today, and then maybe I'll turn it off. This is just for you guys. There is the secret sale code, #secretsale26. And that gets you 20% or 10% off of anything on the site if you want to get a cranky box and make crankies with me. This was a good night. I'm feeling a little bit motivated, a little bit refreshed, and I have something actionable that I can make out of it. So thank you all so much for joining me in the lab tonight and helping me create new and awesome things. And stick around on Nat 21 Adventures on our channel. We have shows all week. We have shows on Monday. We have modern music with Lady Prue. She's fantastic. On Tuesday morning, we have writing sonnets with Shakespeare, which is very similar to what we did here, except for instead of drawing things, it's writing things. And then on Tuesday night, I assure you, we will continue the Bard fight. That's Tuesday night. And then on Wednesdays, we have Creating with the Crew, which I swear we have. There used to be a graphic for that. But I don't see it anymore. But Wednesdays, Creating with the Crew. It's a real thing. Tune in on Wednesdays. So it's basically what we were doing here today in the lab, but with Kitty, Chaos, Cubby Altobelli, and Shoshana Green. All together, we're working and making things and doing trivia and just chatting and having a good time. So thanks once again for tuning in to Nat 21 Adventures as we made art, the collaborate, elaborate, and inspire. Make art every day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next week.